Hey, this is Weegsy, baby, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
The lads.
Up dog, my man. Happy fella Friday, bud.
It's nice to be in here with you, fella. What a weekend. Friday, what a week, what a day leading into the weekend. Excited.
Almost there.
Game one. Excited. I'm headed up to Aspen to help our boy Sheldon Walitsky with his Colorado Extreme, a little hockey school. Excited for that. Excited to be here with you, fella.
Hey,
Nice.
you gotta tell Sheldon that I need an official invite for the alumni game in December. I think I got Richardson.
Yep.
This is all TBD, Joe DeMarco style, on their schedule. Richardson, Stoll, Purcell, Heatley, Avery, and I think I
All
gotta,
beauty team.
you gotta tell Loops he might not make the team.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell Loops he might.
I think our boy Mike Richards.
Richie be a great guy.
Two. We're going to turn this thing into all beauty. I got Brett Kissel. I got our boy Mark LaBelle from Dirty Honey. We're going to just
You don't need
Colorado
celebrities.
Avalanche alumni squad. You guys practice it all week. I mean, just to get away from your old ladies, you're all at the rink all day long. Still, I actually admire it. I wish we had a rink here. I wish we had some alumni around here to skate with, but it's just like it's cheating. You guys, you're already in the altitude. We're trying
to make your team better, bud.
I know. Trust me, I know. We're going to be better. It stung. The 9-2 loss is a stinger. Like, we don't forget that.
Question is,
Here, pass me those
the question
candidates.
The question is Lundqvist coming back?
Well, yeah, that is a good question.
Is Hank going to get back? I think if you show Hank the roster that we're going to put together for Sheldon, I think Hank's like, I'll play.
Yeah, I think he almost got a new job after his performance with us. Like, I think there were some teams really looking at him.
He made some saves. He made some saves in the first period that were just fucking like MSG back in the day.
Straight off the F1 fighter plane with our boy Buckley, right to the game.
I can't believe you guys did that before the game.
He was just kicking. Yeah. I got there. I was fucking, my heart and my lungs were still through my chest.
I was worried about having a jammer going to that game, period, let alone going on a fighter pilot before the fucking game.
I finally remembered what, our good friends at Life Force and the hydration room, when I went and did that NAD drip the other day, and I was trying to remember what the feeling was like when you start taking that NAD and it's in your chest. It was the G-force I felt when that's the same feeling. So any of you out there, you ever doing the NAD drip and you want the nurse to just really crank it up so it goes fast? That's the feeling you get when you start to do the G-force in those fighter planes. It's something crazy.
I can't even imagine. I don't even think I could fit in that thing. But I mean, the fact that you guys did that right before and then came buzzing into the game, I'm like, these guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Hey, shout out to our boy Car Bomb. He just sent me and you some things called Brain Health.
Yeah.
15 blend full spectrum mushroom capsule.
Nice.
His text was hilarious. He's like, just take it on an empty stomach in the morning.
Yeah.
For some clarity throughout the day, and then maybe take a couple beverages over the weekend.
Nice.
But I take these drops every morning that we've talked about when we had Car Bomb and the Wiz on there. Honor your gut, find your flow, and realize your potential. I take them, sometimes I don't take them on the weekend, but I take them every morning, and I've noticed a big difference.
Yeah.
Just on how I feel, my sharpness. I don't get tired as much. And another thing, shout out to Life Force, dude. I actually texted Steve yesterday, and I was like, dude, my one subscription is not back in. He's like, oh, that's 3 months on, 3 months off. I'm like, that's why you're a pro, fella.
Yeah.
But listen, I used to, before I started doing Life Force, and I'm going to put the mushroom drops in this as well, I would really fatigue out around 2 o'clock. I would be like, fuck, I'm done now. Now it's like 4:30, I'm done. But I'm saying I feel good throughout the day.
Yeah.
It's helped me kind of keep my longevity and my flow. I got some flow back in my stride.
Speaking of flow and Life Force.
Get on it, boys.
I brought my vitamins this morning. I forgot to take them when I woke up, but this is a nice little kit.
Hey, you used to bring that on the road with different things in the fucking vitamins. Eh?
But look, like you get it all. And the best
Was
thing
that
I got.
fucking fit in your carry-on or what? That's a big boy fucking
Best thing I do, which boys out there, the daily dose of the Tadalafil.
What's that?
For the misses. It's the
is it the boner gummies?
Yeah, it's a 5 milligram sea bomber.
You take it every day
just to get a little, flow, just to get the blood going.
That's unbelievable.
And take some. I'd like to take these in the morning, but
I feel like the testosterone pills that they put me on. What you help me with the name up, so you know what they're called. It starts with a C. Is that what you're talking about?
Huh.
I can pull it up here. I looked at Steve. I sent it to Steve.
Oh, now I'm back.
The testosterone capsule that they give you.
I don't do that. I do my.
No, but you know what it's called.
Samoralin? No. So my replacement therapy is the injection.
I'm gonna fuck this up, but CLOMI.
Clomiphene.
I knew you knew what it was.
Yeah.
So 3 months on, 3 months off, and I've talked about this before. My testosterone was at like Flowers' credit score back in the day. It was 425 points. Now I'm up to 950, dude.
Oh, there you go.
I'm telling you, I feel like I could,
Yeah, you really do.
If Dana White needs somebody for the heavyweight
Yeah.
division, I could step. I couldn't even make weight for the heavyweight division. I'd have to cut. I'm too.
What's the heavyweight division?
You got to get down to 265.
You got that.
I'm like last time I weighed myself, I was like 282. So I'd have to cut.
Like the Rumble boxing with the. Imagine it was Rumble swimming sauna that you'd crush.
Rumble swimming sauna.
Yeah, daily you'd fucking lose 10 pounds immediately.
Yeah,
sweat it all out.
I flew back with Billy last week, and shout out to Coach Safe. He's just an animal. I talked to him for 3.5 hours flying. He's like, you got to get in. I'm like, dude, listen, if I lived in Dallas, I would work out with you. But for me to come into Morrow for one morning for you to kick my ass,
Oh my god,
doesn't do like
done for 2 weeks.
But I'm like, Coach Safe, if I lived here, dude, I would work out with you. I go, if I knew you 10 years ago, because there's something about him that he's brutally honest, which I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about him that you want to you obviously want to work hard for him, but you kind of want to prove him wrong too. Like, fuck you, but I'll get in there and do that. I think that's how he motivates his fighters.
Yeah, I don't have that drive. That drive to me is long gone.
Yeah.
I have the drive to go do some yoga.
Yeah.
Sweaty
Not for the stretching.
Yeah.
You're in there not for the stretching.
No, it is for the stretching.
Is it for the stretching?
Yes.
Don't lie to me, buddy.
Lie to
Hey,
your-
as we used to say in the dressing room, lie to your wife, not the boys. All right.
Is that what they said?
I don't know. I used to say that, I think. But I was just, how much fun do you think back in the day was it to sit with Gretz in the room? I mean,
I watched Boys on the Bus yesterday.
I got Boys on the Bus recorded, ready to rock at any time in my house.
Oh, really?
Oh, I noticed it was on NHL Network. I think this might be the last off-season updog. I'm like, I'm recording that, and that's staying on my DVR forever.
I mean, it is fantastic.
He goes, look at Cough. I can try again. I cannot hang out with this guy. Look at Cough. Hey, we're the closest team ever here. And they're both, he's just drinking red wine, and they're all just.
You can tell he's a little little.
Oh, fuck yeah. It was great.
Good looking cat back in the day.
Gret's still good looking cat. I just think, man, sitting at him in the dressing room with those boys, because just him on the panel for this Western Final, he had so many great, just one-liners and sayings. It's like,
Power out of the game, and this will lead us into a few things that are being discussed in the NHL today, which TV coverage, right? And what, behind the scenes, Edmonton Oilers back in 86, 87, Boys on the Bus, and now they're doing, they're doing HBO, Road to the Winter Classics and stuff. But this was like OG.
Yeah.
Wow. What, and you look at Michael Jordan's, The Last Dance, but this was actually a movie that's been out there forever. And, wow, it's just incredible for us. And I'm an Oiler guy. I mean,
we know you're an Oiler guy. Everyone knows you're an Oiler. Frank, everyone knows you had a good time. You run around naked in the
painting was a gift.
Yeah. When you look, what? She's upset about you running around naked in the streets. Yeah, that and a few other things. That and a few other. Well, Updog. Speaking of Boys on the Bus, how great is it when they're practicing with no bucket on?
It's crazy.
So Amazon.
Yeah.
Actually, I can say it now. Pat Brisson, when I went to the CAA party in Toronto at the All-Star Weekend with the big guy, he had mentioned this to me that this was in the works. So they're going to follow the boys. Some big boy names. Holy fuck, McDavid, Chucky. It'll be great. I just hope that these guys are themselves, right? It's easy to say they're going to be themselves, but let just pretend the cameras aren't there to a certain extent. Updog.
Yep.
But the Boys on the Bus is legendary. Gretz, you're a beauty. Updog, real quick. Our friends at DraftKings, they had a little fun thing on there. Best sports movies, and they gave them the odds. The favorite was at minus 125 was Rocky, which I can't disagree with. Then I went Miracle, Bull Durham, Caddyshack, Rudy, Happy Gilmore. I mean, listen, Slapshot. It's got to be on that list, dude. I would put Slapshot right after Rocky.
No
Would
kidding.
you not?
I'd almost put the Mighty Ducks in there before Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. If you're a Notre Dame fan, Rudy's. I used to love
the Mighty Ducks.
Rudy.
I watched a little bit of it the other day. What a good message for young kids, kids in a way you fight for. There's adversity out there, and hockey's this. a good teaching tool for it, and it's all about the team. It's great.
It's great that Emilio Estevez gets a fucking DUI. They're like, hey, they're like, hey, you gotta go coach Division 13. They got no equipment. Hey, the guy comes rolling in with a fucking his limo. He's like, holy Christ, boys. And he just stick him like, hey, congratulations, you're coaching minor. If that's all it was for a stick handler, I might stick him a little bit more. Hey, all I gotta do is coach this hockey club. It's like, all right, this is good.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
What a piece of writing.
And it's just team building. I love Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
I do love, Caddyshack is a classic. Bull Durham.
Happy Gilmore, insane.
I love Miracle too, man. These are all unbelievable. But listen, Slapshot has to be in there. Youngblood has to be in there. And then I think an honorable mention is Goon.
It's good.
Whoever did the writing for Goon was, when he goes, I got 2 rules. Do you have any Percocets? And don't touch my Percocets.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm on your fucking team. It's like, wow, this guy's just been in a hockey locker room before. But listen, Slapshot, Youngblood, got to be in there, up dog. And I like Mystery Alaska too. Skank Mark.
Those are great honorary mentions.
The best in Mystery
Tin Cup. Where's Tin Cup?
Tin Cup's a great movie. We should do a whole podcast on movies, and maybe we will. We'll leave it right there because maybe we'll do
this movies.
They're filming Happy Gilmore too.
I know.
They're filming it now?
Yeah, right now.
Shooter McGavin put out there was a picture of Adam Sandler coming out of some gym where he looked about as round as I am, and he's like, no way I lose to this guy this time. And it's a picture of Adam Sandler. It's no way I lose to this guy this time. But Mystery Alaska is a sneaky good movie. The best part about that is when the goalie gets in trouble because Skank Martin comes in. He's like, I was banging her, blah, blah, blah. And then he told his girlfriend who told her, and they hit him with the shovel. So they come in the rink, they come in the room, they're like, Skank, what are you talking about? They're like, he's like, do you want it? He's like, yeah, I want it. And they make him go out in just his jockstrap, buck naked, and slide into a snowbank with his balls. They're like, it's not right, boys. It's an unbelievable scene. So, up dog, let's do. We'll do one of those, maybe a little off-season content. We'll do a whole pod on that. But DraftKings, I thought that was cool. Last but not least, here in a little intro, up dog. Speaking of DraftKings, Conn Smythe. You got him up there.
I sure do.
I got a question for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
What is my new favorite player besides Chucky Imani? What's my favorite player, Sam Bennett, at, dude?
How much money you want to win, fella?
I want to win a lot.
All
If
right.
Florida wins this series, I do win a lot.
Well, there's value there. All right, there's value with your boy, Mr.
Sam Bennett.
Let's see.
He's going to have a big final because he missed some games, right? So he's only got, I think, Kyle, can you look this up? I think he's got 4 goals, maybe 5. Chucky's leading their team.
Sam Bennett's plus 30,000. 30,000, fella, to win the Conn Smythe.
I'm going to bet that.
A guy I like, value bet, who's leading the league in goals, is Zach Hyman. He's plus 10,000.
You're betting on Zach Hyman.
I'm going to throw a little tickler on that. Our favorite front runner, Connor McDavid, leading the league in scoring, stepped up at all the right times. He's plus 190.
Connor is?
Big favorite.
That's a good insurance bet.
Alexander Barkov is the favorite for the Florida Panthers. Barkey, he's plus 400, followed by Sergei Bobrovsky, plus 450.
What's Chucky?
Plus 550. Chucky, good value bet.
Leon got 6 goals, 4 assists.
Also, 6 goals, 4 assists. And Kyle, Chucky's leading the Panthers in scoring, correct? Or Barkey?
A lot of assists.
Chucky's got tons of apples.
A lot of apples.
If you can look that up too real quick.
Leon Draisaitl, plus 950.
They're going to give it to
Chucky's got 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points, and behind him is Verhaeghe with 17 points.
Hey, Kyle, look up all-time goal, all-time goals in one Stanley Cup playoff run. Because Zach Hyman right now has 14. If he beats this record, if he goes and gets 5 goals in, say, a 7-game series, and they win,
if he gets 5 goals in the final, Oilers are going to win the cup.
And exactly, and he gets 5 goals and has 19 playoff goals in one run, he, my friend, is a close candidate. Although Connor McDavid is if the Edmonton Oilers win, there's only one person that the NHL wants.
Yeah, Connor's going to get it.
It's Yari Curry in 84-85, 19 goals.
See, so he's 5 away. That's,
And some guy named Reggie Leach also had 19 goals.
Leacher. Listen, I and the Conn Smythe is, a lot of leagues are different, right? NBA, it's the NBA Final MVP. I think the baseball, it's the World Series MVP, and then the Super Bowl MVP. The Conn Smythe, as our listeners know, it's the whole playoffs.
the whole playoffs.
I just think Sam Bennett was so good against the Rangers, and he's going to have to continue to be good. What's he at? Plus 30,000 up, dog?
30,000.
I'm going to fucking tickle that after we're done recording this little episode.
I
fella.
dare you to fire a G note on that. No, imagine. You're like, I quit, up dog. I go, what? Yeah, I quit. I just made fucking $3 million. I just made $3 million on Sam Bennett. It went off in the finals.
I'll tell you. Yeah, listen, I'll get into why I think right when we come back here at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog, my man. What do we got?
Fella, presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned, fellas, because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout our show. As you guys know, DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Fellas, DraftKings Stanley Cup Final Preview. Woo. Here we go, fella. Up dogs, Edmonton Oilers versus my Florida Panthers. Although you played way more. How many games you played for the Panthers?
I played 4 years. I got about, I don't know. Good thing.
So
without Kevin.
So listen, let me ask you something, because you gave me an open. I got to jump on it. So the team that you played 4 years for, opposed to the team that cut you, you'd rather the Oilers win. But listen, you're cheering for the kid from Fort McMurray, the Scotty Upshaw that grew up.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We listen to Gretz on the panel, right? He's friends with he's friends with Vinny Viola. He lives in Florida, but he's the fucking king in Edmonton. Okay, I played for Florida. I lived there. I had a great time.
You put up some numbers there.
My tenure there, yeah,
numbers.
Almost
dude.
ended my career.
Numbers.
That was a great time with you too, by the way, Kizzy. What a cup
of
coffee!
Eh?
What a cup of
There was
coffee.
some Baileys in that coffee.
Yeah.
There's some Baileys in that coffee.
Speaking of, I had a Bailey's there. And listen, my heart is with my childhood. My young Scotty Upshaw, the dream of being an Edmonton Oiler. So right now, I'm just happy that both these teams are battling, and one of them will hold the cup.
Before we dive into it, you're going up there. You will be up there for game 3 and 4.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
Shout out to my boy Jesse, who's he's flying me up with his family. We're going to go in. We're going to watch it from the suite. I got Brento.
That guy is a fucking definition of an Oilers
beauty,
fan.
yeah.
When I met him at Madison Club, he's just like, hey, fuck there, buddy. I'm like, you're from Edmonton.
Yeah, he's the man. So we're going to tee it up. We're going to both games. My brother's coming in with Shannon. We're in his box.
He's got his own suite?
Yeah, he's a fucking badass.
Has he been going to a lot of playoff games? All of them.
Goes to all of them.
He's been to everyone this playoff? Or?
At home, that's
pretty much.
He's probably been to them all, yeah.
Brento's coming down?
Big Brento's coming. Leading the charge with the top.
What
team.
about Big Scott, or is he out?
Big Scott's he's actually back there right now, but he's taking off. Him and Mandy are taking off.
To Newfoundland.
They're back to Newfoundland. Yeah,
I don't blame him. He's got a little compound there.
Yeah, they get the compound. So
if shit hits the fan, Big
way,
Scott, I'm coming to Newfoundland and living in that compound for you.
By the way, I'm actually online right now trying to buy a Stanley Cup Final McDavid jersey.
Well, you would think the way you would think for how much you cheered for the team, they'd fucking send you one.
You think?
Just wear your Upshaw one.
I got it right here. Boy.
Yeah, wear that right to the game. That's what you wear.
I told Brento
cut the fucking sleeves right off it though.
I told Brento he could wear this.
Or that.
Boy.
Cut the sleeves right off that bad boy. I would rock that. You're gonna be hot as balls, but you don't get hot.
I don't know. What do you think?
You know what you should have done? I had Smitty. I thought I was going to go to Florida for the final. It doesn't look like I'm going to get there. I had to make me a Missin Curfew Chucky 19. I was going to rock in Florida if I went.
Unreal Missin Curfew.
Yeah.
Smitty, I'm texting you right now. You better be listening. You better be fucking.
No chance he can get it to you by. Well, maybe. What, yeah, he might. You should text him. You should text him. But okay, before we dive into what our predictions and what we think, are you going to hedge or what?
I'm not hedging yet.
You're not.
I'm not. You know why? Because I feel like the Edmonton Oilers are going to lose game 1. I feel like they're going to go in there. It's long travel. It's a lot of the commotion. They haven't been there before. Florida has. I feel Florida's going to be the edge in game 1. I'm going to probably bet Florida in game 1, Opes. Then, with the good odds coming after game 1, that's where I think I go, it'll be plus maybe 160 for the Oilers to win after that. Right now, it's basically even money, right? Well, the Oilers are plus 130 to win this series. I am going to fire... I got this $1,000 to win $9,500 in Vegas. Put it in the Super Bowl.
Just think about how great it's going to be. Is if Florida wins, you have that ticket that you'll be able to cash when we go in for the McGregor fight.
Unreal,
and you can just fucking have a time.
Unreal. I just text my my host at Aria, and I was like, by the way, I got a nice ticky going on Florida right now, so heads up.
Yeah, me too. I got him at plus 9. I got him at plus 1,800. I put 500 to win at 9,000, and I was having lunch with T-Rex and Pick the other day at Big Canyon, and Pick said, are you going to hedge? And I said, fuck that. I never hedge. I ain't hedging. And T-Rex, the beauty legend that he is, says if the Oilers lose game 1 and 2, you should probably hedge, which I might. If Florida goes up 2 Cobb and it goes to like, what do you think it would jump to? +4.
It's going to go, if they lose both games?
If they lose both games.
It's going to go to +220.
More than that, no?
No, not going home in it.
Okay, if it's only +220, I don't want any part of it. I need +400 or more.
Yeah.
So you think if they lose, I guess the old saying is if you haven't lost on home ice yet, you're not in one.
That's what they say. And in this case, in the Stanley Cup final, I believe right now more than ever, the home ice advantage will play a factor. It will play a factor because of the travel, because of the
travel,
and then the time off in between games. I think it's going to help the home teams in this series more so than Edmonton, Vancouver, Florida, New York. Those little 3-hour flights, boom, fuck it. This is let's 4 hours, gas up in Texas, fucking header on up there.
You got to have a bird that makes it there. You don't have to gas up, do you? Whatever team has the bird that doesn't have to gas up, that could be the difference in the fucking final.
That's exactly.
You get a bird that makes it all the way there. I don't care if it costs an extra $500,000. You make sure the boys get there, or $250K. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Jet fuel. But I'm not happy. I think right now, I think Florida goes in. I think they win game 1. I think Edmonton comes in and wins game 2 in overtime. Holy
shit! You're already at game 2. Fuck, he's already at game 2, Kyle.
Then
he's already at game 2. What happens after that?
DraftKings.
What happens after
Crown
that?
is yours.
What happens after that?
After that, they go back to Edmonton. Edmonton wins game 3. Florida wins game 4, and then it goes Florida game 5, and Florida might win in game 6.
So okay. So who you picking? And tell me why, and then I'll tell you.
Let me tell you right now what I think is going to be a big factor in the series is Matty Tkachuk and his effect on the Edmonton Oilers, dating back to when he was at Calgary Flames, dating back to his battles with Draisaitl, his battles with Nurse, his battles with Bouchard. I think he's going to play a big factor. When he goes back into Edmonton, I want to see how the team, the Florida Panthers, play around that energy in Edmonton's building, around Chucky, around the booing when he touches the puck, around... He's
going to love that.
It's going to love it. I'm interested to see it. There hasn't been quite that dynamic, I think, for the Florida Panthers, other than maybe Sam Bennett in the Boston series, what he did to Marchand. This is now, there's some old, foul taste in the Edmonton Oilers' mouths from Matty Tkachuk back in the day. I think it's going to be a great battle. And then to me, it's Sergei Bobrovsky and the Edmonton Oilers power play. And then how does that all fizzle out? Look for that battle. But overall, I think it's going to be a great series, buddy.
Okay, so who you taking?
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot right now.
You're going to take Florida. I'll take Edmonton.
No, but who do you think? No, it doesn't do with me. We're here. We're in the final, baby.
I think.
What do you think?
I think it's Edmonton Oilers' time
to win.
I think it's their time to win.
Okay.
I think the time has never been so close for these two.
It does have that feel to it. It does have that feel that 97 and 29 are not going to be denied. For me, it comes down to, I agree with you. I do think home ice is going to be an advantage. I think Florida having the home ice after last year having to go to Vegas to start the series and losing 2 in Vegas, they realize how important home ice is. For the Edmonton Oilers to win this series, in my opinion, if their power play and penalty kill continue to hum at the ability that it's been humming through the conference finals and halfway through the second round, that is a huge advantage to the Oilers. For me, it comes down to Stuart Skinner again. He played unbelievable against the Dallas Stars. He proved me wrong. If the Florida Panthers can generate the scoring chances that they generated against the New York Rangers, Stuart Skinner is not athletic enough to make those cross post-to-post saves that Ergens just... He's just not.
No.
He's good when he's in position and ready to rock. If the Edmonton Oilers defense can keep them to the outside and limit those chances, I think that's a huge advantage for the Oilers. But to me, the 4-line depth of the Florida Panthers, I'm sure Paul Maurice and Sylvain Lefebvre telling this, I would put pucks in behind the Oilers D the entire series. The Panthers forecheck is going to be a huge advantage to them. The Panthers cycle, the Rangers couldn't handle it. I don't know if the fucking Oilers D can handle it. And for the fucking Florida Panthers, stay out of the penalty box. I think the hardest thing for them is going to be how can we play our game and not go over that fine line of if you give the Edmonton Oilers power plays, this series is going to be over quickly. But to me, I'm going to take the Florida Panthers. I was going to take them in 5, but that's just disrespectful to 97 and 29 and the Oilers fans. It's just disrespectful.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
it can end in 5.
I'm going to say the Florida Panthers are going to win in 6.
Yeah, I like that.
Sorry, Updog. One last thing. Barkov can I don't know if shutdown's the right word, but Barkov can play against either or McDavid or Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And then I do think Sam Bennett can I think you're going to see Barkov against McDavid in game 1, and you're going to see Bennett against Draisaitl. And I think Bennett can handle Draisaitl to a certain extent. I think Barkov can handle McDavid to a certain extent.
Great matchups for Florida.
So let's see what the depth of the Oilers up front that everyone has been pumping their tires, and as they should be. I think they're going to have their best, obviously, playoff series for them to win.
I'll tell you who is a standout player to me in the last round for Florida is Evan Rodriguez, and he's going to play a big factor. He's the clutch on that line with Bennett and Matty Tkachuk. I think he was great. And that line, if they want to outplay Leon Draisaitl and whoever gets to play with Leon, that Evan Rodriguez needs to continue to play like he was.
He's been unbelievable. And I do think before this series is over, we're going to hear, by the way, how about Chris Knobloch? This guy hasn't said anything all year. And then they get to the Stanley Cup final, and the question is, hey, what do you think about the Stanley Cup playoff experience? He's like, oh, I'd ask the Buffalo Bills what they think about Super Bowl experience. I was like, did he just say that? Did he just basically say, like doesn't matter that I'm like, this rookie coach shut his mouth all year and just got right to the final, and the bright lights were on him. He's like, I'm taking a shot at these boys. Yeah. So, to me, I think throughout this series, at one point, it's either going to be Chris Knobloch saying we're not getting enough calls, or Paul Maurice is going to say, let's play this 5-on-5. It should be the Stanley Cup final. I think one way or the other, it's going to go.
Yeah. You're going to be able to tell early if the NHL wants this to be a tight called series. Right?
Yeah.
Gary
wants McDavid
and
to
then
win.
You got to think, do they want the savant? Do they want, young McJesus to be holding this thing? Because if so, let's get these refs to tighten up the calls.
Yeah, just for the record, listen, if you're a longtime Curfew listener, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you know that I've always had money on the Oilers. I love Connor McDavid. I love Leon Draisaitl. I watched every Oilers home game pretty much. I've almost watched every game they played this year. And it's bittersweet for me because I knew they would get to this position. But, my boy Monty, Chucky, Panthers have been my team. I got my money there. But
yeah. I mean, the
it's
Oilers
good for hockey either way, man.
They've stuck it to you the last 2 rounds, so
they've stuck it to me. They've stuck it to me every. What do you mean? They've stuck it to me every year. I bet them every year. They fucking lose, and then this year I don't bet them. They're going to dance. They're going to fucking dance. So all to you Oilers beauty fans up there, fuck off. All right, get the beers into you. But Updog, I can't wait, buddy. It's going to be a great final. Happy you're going to get up there and get to enjoy that with your family. But Adidas Tea Times presented by Adidas Golf, made for wherever you play. The Dallas Stars up. Hell of a year. First of all, Pete DeBoer is just a complete class act. You've seen everybody go through the handshake line, and Perry and Henrique and McDavid, and he said to Perry, he said, how many times am I going to be on the wrong side of this, Pears? And Pete, that's a fair question, Pete. But if you keep putting yourself in that position, you're going to get across the finish line eventually, right?
Yeah, you have to. You're too good. It's like Connor and Leon and Gretzky telling Connor before, you're going to win one because you're too good not to. And Pete DeBoer, you're going to eventually get to the dance, and you're going to eventually hoist the cup because, quite frankly, you're just too good not to. And you're too good of a guy. You're too good of an X's and O's player, coach, and the guys love playing for you, and it shows in just how well they treat you when they kick your ass.
Yeah, it was, and I was pulling for Dallas as well. Listen, they got the foundation coming back. Sagan's still there, Ben's still there, Ropey Hintz, Robertson, Mason Marchment, Wyatt Johnson, Stankoven's there. Duchesne's a UFA. We're going to get to Pavelski and get this guy a beer. Craig Smith's a UFA. And then on their back end, Suchi's got one more year. Lindell and Miro Heiskanen, the rest of them are done. I think.
Do you think they keep Tana?
No. I think Tanif's going to get back up the Brinks truck. Beep, beep, beep. I think they need some more depth on their fourth line for Dallas. I think they should go out and try to get some veteran. I don't know, maybe Patty Maroon. I don't know if that's the answer. I love you, Big Rig. But I just thought their fourth line, to me, needed a little more jam. And then I think they can tighten up that back end a little bit. It sucked that Hakanpää was not in the lineup. They could have used him. Tanev was a beast. I think Suchi playing the right amount of minutes up, dog, I thought as the playoffs went on, he played too many minutes and got tired. But listen, they're going to be right there. Ottinger, this is a team I can get behind. I hope Pete DeBoer gets his Stanley Cup someday. You know what I mean? So get this guy a beer.
Presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers, fellas, together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, and Buffalo, New York. Ice cold beer skis.
There's going to be some Labatt Blues passed around for the final all over this beautiful country.
Right.
Joe Pavelski, get this guy a Labatt Blue. Hell of a career. I did a DK show and they talked about Pavelski and I said, never was the biggest guy, never was the fastest guy. And, and then you look at the score sheet at the end of the night, after you lose to him, you're like, well, Pavelski had 2-1. You're like, fuck, I didn't really notice him out there. Like, just such a good pro, one of the best net front guys ever, class act. It's unfortunate up, dog. I mean, we're sitting here without Stanley Cups. We know how it feels. He probably deserved to win one, didn't get it, but hell of a career. You'll be seeing him on these celebrity golf tours. He's a stick.
Yeah, I see him being a guy too that might jump into media and be a front-facing guy for a guy that can mesh the old and the new. A guy played old school hockey, but played with a lot of young kids now. Knows the game well. Whether he starts coaching, GM, management, whatever the case may be, this kid 1,332 games, almost 500 goals, 200 playoff games without a Stanley Cup. It's a remarkable career. He should be proud. He should hold his head high, and it's great to get to know him.
Yeah, it's just like Seguin said the best after they lost. He's like, it's hard to win this. It's hard to win this trophy, and it is. You need so many things to go your way, and you need to stay healthy. And you need bounces, and you need some calls to go your way. So, besides him not getting a Stanley Cup, it's a legendary career for an American-born player. So enjoy the offseason, fella. Tee it up, and if you're looking for a money game, Updog's always looking for a place to scratch.
Always.
Updog, we got our boy Weegsy.
Weegsy, baby.
This is going to be fun. A little Ireland talk, a little Calgary Flames. Weegsy, baby, coming at you right now, fellas. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, Updog.
My man.
You know how much I love this
Weegsy.
Yeah, I finally got to see him at the end of the year. Had a nice dinner with him. But yeah, Mackenzie Weegar, Weegsy, baby, thanks for taking the time, fella. It was great seeing you near the end of the season, buddy. How you doing? How's the last month been? You just been chilling, hanging out? I want to get into Ireland with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. It's always a pleasure coming on this podcast. You guys are doing a great job. But yeah, for the most part, just been chilling. It's the months go by so fast at the end of the year, as you guys know. So kind of just taking my downtime now and getting back in the swing of things.
Hey, Weegsy, real quick, obviously, I want to get into your year you had personally, but as a team, you guys, you hung tough all year, and you're flirting with a playoff spot, and I want to get into guys getting traded during the season, but I guess when your year-end meeting, when you talk to Connie and your head coach, or maybe more importantly, when the boys finally wrapped up their couple days of, what was the message? Well, how were you guys feeling? Excited for a good summer to come back, or what was the message from management and the players in Calgary?
Yeah, like you said, we have such a great team, great guys in that locker room. We try to keep it as close as possible in that locker room. Obviously, there was lots of distractions this year, but we tried to be competitive every night. But I think, going into Connie's office and obviously Huska's office, there was a bit of disappointment. As a Canadian team, there's lots of pressure all the time, but I think with Connie, the message, there's lots of, positive things that can come from this summer. There's obviously some cap space. They got a lot of good draft picks that they have. So, that's equity for the team. But I think the message as an older guy for myself, you want to be, you were here for a long time. Obviously, I'm here for a long time with the contract. And, there's obviously the retool. But, we want to get back to winning now. And I want to get back to winning now. And I think that's where their head's at, is getting back into the playoffs and competing for the Stanley Cup. And I think, both sides are on the same page, which is, a positive outcome at the end of that meeting. So, I'm just interested to see what Connie can do in the off season. He's got a lot of options. So, but it was a good meeting. He's a great guy. He's a great GM. He obviously played the game the right way, as you guys like to say. So, I'm interested to see what he does. Yeah, I'm curious.
I got to be honest, brother. When I just still look at you and I just see that contract that you signed, I'm so happy for you. But at the same time, it takes me back to when you were, eighth rounder, right? And you're trying to get your car shipped into San Antonio. And now, on Cap Friendly, it doesn't even go your whole contract. It only goes to 2029, 2030. I'm like, holy fuck.
You need a bigger computer. The files are in the computer, fella.
How does that feel though to know that you have that term? I'm sure there'll be a time maybe it's now that you're like, oh, fuck. I mean, we're going to get into your personal season that if you were a free agent now, but how does it feel for a kid that, was overlooked a little bit, was a great junior player, but didn't get drafted where he should have? You came to the minors, you worked your way up, and now you're sitting here with that nice ticket, and you can just really focus on taking that next step, which you did this year, but you can even take another step, my man,
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, we've come a long way. Obviously with your help when I was just 20 years old. But to be honest with you, I don't think I get the contract and get to where I am right now without being overlooked. Without people doubting me. Without the the hard road that I took to where I am. It's sort of created who I am now and created kind of the player I am today. So I don't mind the hard route. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better player. Taking that next step now, would be, to win. I don't care so much about, the statistics, sorry. Personally, it's obviously great to perform, but I want to win. I want, my teammates to do great things. I want them to, to perform at a high level every night, but I just care about winning the most right now. I miss being in the playoffs competing. It's tough to watch some nights to see these guys having so much fun in the playoffs. And, that's all I care about right now.
Mac Daddy, there's no question, us from here, fans, your teammates, guys you play against, all see how competitive you are. And I seen it early in Florida. I seen it as a young guy. I now see it more than ever. Just your want to be the guy, right? You went out and got 20 goals this year. You want to be the guy. You're playing in all areas of the ice. What is it right now that you're focused on? Do you look back at the season? Do you kind of go home? You got the cottage, your gym, focus on getting stronger. But what is it maybe, Mackenzie Weegar is going to look forward to next year that you can bring into that group, and help them? You took your game to the next level. How does the Calgary Flames do that? What are you focused on to get them going next season?
I mean, there's obviously a few different things, but I think for myself, I think the biggest step that I took this past season was the leadership role. Obviously when Tanny and Hanny, Lindholm left, there was opportunity to be a bigger voice in the dressing room, to lead more on the ice. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I think taking that into next season, it's just, creating that culture again, making everybody feel comfortable in the room, having fun with the boys, making the game fun, smiling when you come in the rink, but also just competing your ass off when you're on the ice together. I think there's some times where we can get a little shy on the ice when things can get a little rough. I wouldn't mind, taking the next step and, sticking up for guys. You don't have to fight every night. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, just defending one another a little bit more, creating that family culture a little bit more is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I'm pretty focused on next season, but obviously just, continuing my, career and still performing every night as well.
It has a family feel in that nice, cozy dressing room at the Salad Dome, man. You can't even get away from it. You're like, I gotta go take a shit. They're like, oh yeah, hey, make sure you're spraying, Holmes. I used to try to hide from Hartley in there. There's no hiding. Hey Weegsy, there's nowhere to hide in there. No. I'm like just sitting over here, and there he come around the A with his little fucking long neck, and Hartley be like, Obi, come over here. I'm like, oh man, I'm just trying to have a coffee.
There's some sort of management walking around somewhere. You can't get away from it. Even in the lounge, they'll be around.
They're always around in Cowtown. Weegsy, I want to kind of piggyback up his question. You had a hell of a second half, 2 years ago when you went to Calgary, and then you came in and had an unbelievable year. Was there anything you did in last off season that you will continue to do, or was it just like, hey, it's my second year in Calgary, I know where I'm living, I know how to get to the rink, I know everyone now? Was it just being familiar with Calgary, or was it something you changed in the off season to help you have a fucking legit, an unbelievable year, brother?
Thank you. Well, no, honestly, no. I don't really change up my program too much in the summertime. I got a great trainer here in Ottawa. The guys on the ice here are phenomenal. The Sens obviously come in here at the end of the summer. I get to skate with those guys, so I appreciate that. But I think it's like you said, I got a home in Calgary now. I feel way more comfortable. I feel more comfortable with the management, knowing them for a second year now. It's not, like I said to the media at the end of the year, it's not so much coming in and shaking hands and introducing myself and, what's going on. It's the small talk and all that bullshit. It's more legit chats and conversations and getting to know one another a little bit more. So I think it's just more comfortable for me. And that goes a long way. It's just being more comfortable, all around the city and in the rink.
Let's talk about the media there. You mentioned it because I followed you all year, and you had some great, you had some great Weegarisms or whatever you want to call them, where you're being yourself. But I appreciated that you were being yourself and being honest with them. Is that something that you've embraced, that you enjoyed? Because my time, not in Calgary, they didn't talk to me, but in Vancouver, I love the media. I love coming in and talking to the boys. Is that something that you're going to continue to do? And I guess as an old teammate and a buddy, I would recommend you continue to do that because it's good for your team and it's good for you to show you what you're all about.
Absolutely. I've loved the media ever since I got there. They're all great. I talk to them even outside the rink and we just chat about whatever, just, what's going on in day-to-day life. It's not just so much of a mic in my face all the time. You get to know them personally. I think that goes a long way. It obviously keeps them off Twitter a little bit more, chirping your name when nights aren't going so well. So, it's all about being yourself in this game. Like you guys have talked about it. I think it's important to show your personality. It's great for the game. It's great for the fans. I don't mind being honest with myself or with my teammates, with the media. I've just come to a point in my career where, I won't be so tight-lipped. I'll be honest. And I think that's just how it's supposed to be.
Weegsy, a guy that Conroy brought in, and now he's a special advisor to the GM. But is there any sightings of Jarome Iginla around, like Mr. Calgary? Is he around the rink ever, like a guy that bled red and white? Carries a pretty big persona around him. But is he around much? And has he said anything to you? Do you have a good relationship with him?
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, he's kind of behind the scenes a little bit still. I think it's just because of his one son there that's still, ripping up the WHL. I think he wanted to focus a lot with maybe his son. That's sort of what I've heard. I have seen him a little bit here and there. I haven't personally spoken to him. I'd love to. It'd be awesome just to pick his brain a bit and tell him to figure it out here and there. It'd be cool. But I think hopefully he'll be around a little bit more this season. I'm assuming, his role is just going to get bigger with Connie as the GM. So that's pretty exciting that he's part of our organization. I think, that's a great advisor that Connie has.
Princey put out a Calgary Iginla tribute clip, and it was just like going through Iggy, like his goals, his hits, his fights, his chirping guys, and like
he's tough.
Yeah, man. I remember one time I asked Iggy at the Dome. I was playing with Vancouver. I said, Iggy, you want to go tonight? And he said, you going to be on the ice against me, big boy? And I said, probably fucking not. And then I looked back at those videos Princey put, and I'm like, thank God it wasn't. The guy threw left jackhammers and came straight ahead. Like, I would have been in one.
He'd stick me, look at me in the eyes like wanting to go, and I'd see you later.
Yeah,
he wouldn't stop either. His endurance was just, he wanted to keep going and going.
Yeah,
like a pit bull.
I'll give Willie Mitchell credit. Mitchie fought him one night in the Dome, and Mitchie did all right, hung in there, and Iggy got him at the end, which happens in fights. But for Mitchie to step up and fight Jarome Iginla, I was like, "Attaboy, Mitchie!" Because he was playing against he was playing against him, right? He's out there battling.
Yeah, and the reason I kind of bring him up, looking through the staff, and you got Marty Jelena, player development, you got Brad Richardson scouting. But
is Marty Jelena still there?
What is he? Michael Stone, player development guy. No, you play with Stoner, but
no. But that Martin Jelena bag skated me in Calgary more than I made tape to tape pass.
But I guess what I'm saying is the Calgary Flames need to kind of watch that exact Iggy tape that he played and then kind of carry that fuck you attitude into the games. Yeah. And when you say stick up for teammates, you look at all the good teams, man, they all have that brotherhood of, hey, you fuck with this guy, you're going to get a pack of wolves over here. And that was kind of Iggy's, message. So it'd be nice to have him around more, talking to the young guys and bringing that sort of feel back. Because you can kind of get lost and have a couple years where you don't have that. But then as soon as you get that back, everyone starts to kind of pick each other up. And it's that fighting mentality,
Yeah, it goes a long way. Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Sounds like he might have to run it by his old lady. Hey, Jarome, it probably has something to do with his wife. If I had to guess, it's you're not going to the rink all day. You nuts, get over here. You played for 20 years. You're not going to the rink.
Yeah, but you brought it
Just
up.
wait for the new rink.
Yeah.
Just wait for the new rink.
But you're right. He's watching his kid play in the dub. His kid's going to be a draft pick probably this year, like late first round, second round.
I mean,
he could be a new Calgary Flame, draft pick.
I will say this, and Weegsy, we don't need to get you in any trouble. Don't be talking about. But Mark Prince is convinced that they're going to find a way to draft Iginla's son, which would be you wonder if Jarome deep down would want that. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a good question.
Right now, you got to come in and you got the name. I don't know. I mean, the
Donner's kids seem to be. That was the dream come true for Shane Doan's kid and their boys. But I guess
now he's off
in the desert.
Now he's off to Salt Lake.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey, Weegsy, I want to ask you. I think Jarome Iginla, anytime around the Flames, by the way, would be great for the team, just like Getzlaf should be around the Ducks out here. But, Weegsy, I want to ask you about the fans in the city because anybody that I talk to through Missin Curfew DMs or whatever, they know how much, I love you and talk about you. But it seemed the last year and a half, they started loving you as well. Have you felt that in the city? Do you feel that at the Dome? Because you are a Calgary Flames type of guy, bro. You play hard, old school. Even though you played in the Cube, we'll let you slide in that. You're an Ontario boy.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Even though the last 4 years, the Mountain Cup's been won by a Quebec team, but it's cool. The fans have been great to me. I got the experiences that I've had with them. They're awesome. I went to the Stampede last year, which was a hell of a time. But it was great just to see the love that they all shared for me and all the photos that I took with them. They were so cool. Actually, I was over in Ireland, like I was chatting with you before, and I was at McGregor's pub there, the Forge.
Black Forged in.
And he ended up showing up, obviously, and it was pretty cool to see him. But when I walked around to go to the bathroom, there were 3 random guys there, and they came up to me and were, Mackenzie Weegar? I was like, yeah. I'm like, going on? He's like, we're from Calgary. This is unbelievable that you're here. I'm like, McGregor's right there. Right? They're like, oh, we had a nice Guinness and a whiskey shot together. But it was cool just to see, the fans over. They're over in Ireland showing me love, and it was pretty special.
I saw McGregor in Vegas after the after the Terrence Crawford's Earl Spence fight, and I was fucking on one, and I'm just like, "Hey, Connor, what's up, fella?" He's like, "You stay right fucking there." I'm like, "No, buddy." He had these 2 big security guys. I'm like, I love you, bro. I love you."
He felt threatened, did he?
He thought the big boy.
You thought the other big Irishman was going to come grab him.
I just want to give you a hug, fella, but.
That's great.
Hey, we'll touch on Ireland near the end, Weegsy. I just want to stay with you on. You mentioned it earlier when I asked you about your exit meetings. Guys coming in and out. It seemed like, well, first of all, your team was a goddamn nightmare to try to bet on. I mean, just when you think you guys would get it going, then the Chicago come in and beat you at home, or the Sharks would beat you at home. I'm like, I can't trust these guys. But you guys battled all year. You went through it a little bit in St. Louis at the deadline where they traded away some guys and they continued to find a way to get in the playoffs. What's it like? Because to me, that would piss me off. If we're like hanging in there, I get it, you have a job to do. But, man, every time we go on a 4-game winning streak, it's like you guys traded somebody.
Yeah, it sucks, man, to be completely honest with you, especially when they're, top tier guys. They're great buddies of yours. I'll just touch on Hanny and Tanny, for now, just being, defenseman with them, and they were key parts to our team. And I think that if everybody did end up staying, that we could have, maybe stuck in there as an 8th seed or whatever it is now. I don't even know how that is, but
nobody knows.
Wild card spot, but it sucks to see them go. But this might sound harsh, and this doesn't discredit them at all. But I'd rather guys, if you don't want to be here, and I've said this before, then just get out. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. You guys got to go get paid like Hanny did, and he went to a great team, and Teddy's doing great things over in Dallas, and he's obviously going to get another nice ticket. But, just for me and just where I'm at in my career, I'll be here a Flame for a long time. And if you don't want to be here, then, that's just the way it goes. And, we'll figure it out from here, and we'll get new pieces, and we'll have to retool whatever it is. But it does, at the time when everybody does leave, it definitely does hurt for sure.
Yeah, that affects you. It affects you internally. And then it's just noise, right? It's just noise around the rink, and you can feel it. And by everyone's right. I mean, Shane, I went as a free agent one time. Thank fuck I got out of Columbus when I was there. And but you deserve the right to be the free agent. But when it's internal and it's your brothers and it's your D partners and that's noise, you really just want to, you got to do the right thing. And Connie sees that, right? So they make the necessary moves. And Tanev's a great, Tanev got one fucking upper tooth in his lip. Yeah. Great defenseman, unbelievable defenseman. And he's really showcasing that now. And, you just, like you said, you want to kind of make the guys feel like you're all part of this because we're going to get out of it together.
I agree, Weegsy. And like, if I'm a GM, the first thing that's on my list is I want guys there that want to be there, right? Like, and you know how it is. There's top end talent in the NHL, and then there's the rest of the guys, and everyone can play. But if a guy wants to be there, he's going to play harder and dig in and block those shots and take that hit. And I'm with you, Weegsy. So good on you for that one, fella. Listen, buddy, when they talk about Mackenzie Weegar now in Calgary, they bet like your name is mentioned with Al MacInnis and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, Mackenzie Weegar. I go, Mackenzie Weegar, Weegsy baby, and Al MacInnis, right? At the end of the year, I was pulling for you. You're on 19. I saw you here for dinner, and you said, "Fuck, I don't think I'm going to get it." I said, "Well, just stop talking about it." And you got it on the last night. But when you hear your name, with Al MacInnis, what does that mean for a guy that loves you? I'm just like, first of all, I laugh a bit, but I always knew you'd be a stud. But how does it feel?
It's fucking wild, man. To be completely honest with you, excuse my French, but he's obviously a pretty special player, and he's obviously a legend in the city of Calgary. And it's tough to follow along with the records that he had and the goals that he put up, and all the records that he broke, but. Even just like you said, to be mentioned just in a sentence with him, and to break one of his records it's just crazy to me. Like, I just look back on just being a 20-year-old kid in the AHL with you, and now breaking records with Doug MacInnis. It's just it's weird, to be honest with you. It's great. It's those little accomplishments like that when you retire, that you can look back on and give yourself a little pat on the back. But pretty cool, pretty special, and honored, obviously, to break one of his records or to even just be mentioned with him.
Yeah, that'll be in many years when you're got the feet up at the lake, or you're living down in Florida when you're retired, and the Calgary Flames game will be on. It'll be like, oh yeah, man, Mackenzie Weegar and Al MacInnis are the only guy. You'll be like, fuck, all right, I'll have another cocktail. Let's have another. Yeah, boys, want another one? Let's have another one here.
Yeah, exactly.
20 snipes, so 20
snipes, a lot of snipes.
Were you just feeling it, or what?
Were you not going D to D ever, or what? For fuck's sakes, just shooting it?
Yeah,
I don't. You know what? I don't. I think it had a lot to do with a lot of different things. Obviously, I was playing the offside with Raz for a bit, and I got just to tee up a few one-timers. And then the power play, I got to be on the power play a little bit more this year. I got a few there. But to be quite honest with you, I think I just had a little bit of the hockey gods looking over me, like the last game of the season. I just folded one in. Good screens in front of the net. So I got to thank the forwards for that. Hubie was in there a couple of times screening the goalie, which is nice to see a little bit. But it was kind of one of those years where everything was going. I shot the puck maybe 100 more times than I ever shot the puck. I just kept ripping them. Probably a couple wide open net tap-ins for a couple of the forwards I missed, but it was just one of those seasons.
Well, when they're going in for you, don't mind shooting them. For me, I was always getting blocked. I'm like, I better put this in the corner. I'll put this one down there. Here you go, up dog. Cycle that one for a bit.
Yeah. Let's talk about Hubie for a sec. I love Hubie, right? I've known him for 12, 13 years. You guys, you came into Calgary together. You both had moments of success there so far. You both had moments probably where you wish things were a little different. But you know how hard Hubie works. You know how great of a guy he is. Maybe just talk a little bit about, how Hubie is in the room that people probably don't see, and just maybe what things Hubie's doing to work on, that he's going to come back next year and be the type of guy he was, for the last 10 years of his career.
Yeah, I mean, nothing but great things, like you said, to say about him. We're like brothers. We've been together now for, I think, almost 8 years or more. I'm not sure, but he's the best. He really is. He's a hilarious guy. The boys love him in the room. Obviously, it's been a little bit tough for him in Calgary. I think he's told the media before he'd love to perform, at a higher level, but I think for Hubie, I think for him, he's got so much competitiveness to him. He wants to be the guy. There's no question. You can see it every night. The passion for the game, the passion for the boys. I'm sure he's doing whatever he possibly can in the offseason right now to be the guy he was like in Florida, or the flashes that we've seen in Calgary. He'll do whatever it takes. Actually, to be honest with you, when we go back home in the summertime, we don't chat too much because I think we're just in each other's grill for so long for the last 8 years. But I'll usually reach out to him later in the summer. But
you give him a little, you give him a little break, eh? Weegsy, you give him a little break, eh?
Everybody needs a little break from Weegsy here. So, like you said, he's the best. I don't doubt he's doing everything that he can possibly do to be the guy that he was, and I have no doubt that he'll get there. It's just going to take a little bit of patience and time, and he's got to find that confidence again right at the beginning of the year. And once he gets it, we gotta all show him that we're all going to be there and feeding him the puck and hyping him up and kicking his ass and doing whatever it takes to keep him there.
Yeah, when he's at his best, and Obi, this, everything runs through him. Right? It's like Hubie touches the puck and then something happens. Hubie gets the puck on the half wall. It's up to the point. It's backdoor. It's in. Mm-hmm. Like when he plays his best, everything runs through him. It's just how he can activate his physical play. He can get to the net. He's he's got the big ass and the big body. Get in front of the net. Get a little bit outside.
That's what I would tell him. First of all, I think when it comes to Hubie too, and Flames fans are smart fans, and the reason I don't think they're all over him is because he is playing. He's playing his balls off. You can see he's out there trying. You can see that he's frustrated that he's not putting up the points that he's used to putting up to. But like Updog said to me, if I was Hubie, I would just go to the fucking net next year. I would get right to that blue paint. Nobody's going to cross-check you. Just get there, get a couple greasy ones to get you going, and then let it come. Because like you said, he's a big boy. I mean, look at what Zach Hyman's doing. I mean, Zach Hyman doesn't have the most skill. He goes right to the front of the net. Fucking last night, hit him in the chest and went in. I just think if I had any advice for Hubie, I think I told him this was go to the net. Go to the net and just tip one in. But
we could also bury a few more for him, too. He lays a few on a platter.
Yeah, he sure does.
We can't bury for him, so we got to help him out a little bit, too.
Well, you chipped in there. You got 20. Hey, fuck, you can't.
I did my job. Fuck, come on.
Hey, one last guy before we talk about Ireland. I got to ask you about, I don't know if I'm going to say his name right. Martin Pospisil or whatever, this Czech guy that just runs around and kills guys. Well, what's he like? I love his game. I'm concerned for his well-being. He might want to take some boxing classes in Czech this year. But what's he? I love the way he plays, Weegsy, but I'd want to kill him if I played against him.
Yeah. You're one of those guys that you love to have on your team, but hate to play against for sure. He's definitely made a name for himself this year. He made a name for himself day one of practice. We went way back there. We had our history. It was pretty funny. The boys would probably be laughing, but we did this 1-on-1 with a 2-on-2 in the corner, and it was first practice. I said, okay, whatever. They don't, but he reverse hits me like hard, and I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, you're going to reverse hit me. So I banged my stick on the glass, started screaming at him. He does the same thing on the ice, skates away. He's got the tinted visor. I honestly could have buried him. Like, I wanted to bury him. But I didn't do anything, coward. But the practice went on, and now getting to know him more and more, I respect him so much more because he practices exactly like he plays. He was all over me. It wasn't just that practice. He was all over me for the rest of the year. He'd forecheck me hard in practice. He'd trip me or whatever. He just plays so hard in practice that it continues to the game. And he was one of those guys that bring you into the fight. If we needed a spark, he'd give us a spark in a game. He's actually a great guy. He's hilarious. He's absolutely ripped up and jacked. But that just kind of goes to show you kind of what kind of guy he is on and off the ice. But I love having him on the team. I don't want to ever play against him for sure. He owns me.
It reminds me of Zdeno Konopka. I fought Konopka in junior when he was in Ottawa. I fought him in the American League when he was in Utah, and then we signed him in Cincinnati, and he comes into training camp and he's just being a Johnny fucking tryhard. Eh? So I fight him twice in training camp. I'm like, I fucking hate this Konopka. I can't believe I got to play with him. And then I realized that that's just what he does. Every day he practiced like that. He played like that. He fought everyone. He'd put the puck in his mouth if he had to. But at the start, I was like, this guy's but then you grow to appreciate it. So I totally know what you mean there, Weegsy baby.
Yeah. As far as the fighting goes, I'm not really. She could be taking boxing classes. I don't know, but you'll definitely be tested. I'm assuming again next season. But like I said before, hopefully we can get all 5 guys in there and back him up.
Yeah, he's good. He has some hits where it's like, well, you're gonna have to answer the bell for that one.
There's guys that want his blood bad for sure.
All right, Weegsy, baby. I appreciate you taking the time, buddy. First, how was Ireland? Me and Updog went over there for our 40th. I saw you played Royal County Downs, fellow. We didn't get to play that one. How nice is that?
It was unbelievable, man. The golf, just being with my uncle and a couple of my cousins, was a hell of a time. We played 5 rounds of golf in 5 days. Walked all the courses. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I held my own. I'm not the best golfer. I held in there. But it was a blast, man. It was just, obviously the Guinness tastes great. The weather was perfect. Company was great. The courses were phenomenal. So I got nothing but great things to say about Ireland. It treated us great.
Great people too.
Great people. How was the weather?
Great people, man.
Did you get any good weather?
We were getting sun.
Wow.
And suntanned out there. So, but like you said, the people are absolutely hilarious too. Like the accents just fire me right up.
Yeah, laddie. How you doing, laddie? How you doing, laddie?
It's great.
Hey, laddie, how you doing?
It reminds you a little bit about back in junior, probably a little Halifax, Newfoundland. It's the same people.
They're just drunk. They're just more drunk. Drunks everywhere. They're drunk in Halifax. They're drunk in fucking Dublin.
Yeah, the drunks just follow me.
Hey, Dublin, what a city. You stayed at the hotel that the Updog recommended when I went over there. The Dean Hotel? The Dean Hotel. Nice rooftop, Nice rooftop.
Yeah, you guys, you nailed that one. I wish we got to spend a few more days there. It was just the one night, but it was, that rooftop was fantastic. We got a little bite to eat with a couple of cocktails, and then we went to the Forge, actually, to McGregor's pub after that. But it's a cool little hotel. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it's got the blue lights, and it's got the workout gym and the sauna with the little tub in the back. It's cool though. It was great. It's right in the right spot too. Right area there.
Did you have any mix there? What kind of records did they have in your room? Because every room has like a record player and some albums. I had Daft Punk the first time I went in there, and it was after like a 7-day bender in Mykonos. I showed up there just to play golf on my way to Newfoundland. And I get in there still kind of feeling it from Mykonos, and I'm like, I got a night in Dublin here, solo mission. And sure as shit, it was an old Daft Punk album, and I put that on, blasted the tunes, and I'm like, all right, we got right in the good headspace again.
Weegsy, after a 7-day bender in Mykonos, me and you would have just closed we would have closed the blinds. We would have closed the blinds and said, let's get the room service and shut her down.
Yeah,
I was still.
Yeah. Get it to like 60 degrees. Water, and then close the curtains, and that's it.
And let's call her. We'll see you Tuesday. Hey, I never made it to the Black Forge, and that's unreal that you got to see Connor there. When I saw the. It's a good spot because when I go back, I'm going to go, but I didn't make it there. And I love McGregor. I'm going to the fight June 29th. I saw him partying there the other night. I'm not going to judge that, but are you a big McGregor guy? You love him?
Yeah, you would have lost it. I'm not I thought it was really cool. I'm obviously a big fan. He's absolutely as advertised. He's the exact same thing you'd see wherever you'd see him on TV or wherever. He shows up in the Bentley, and there's a Rolls behind him, Lamborghini's pulled up. He gets out of the car, he's yelling something. I don't even know what he's yelling. He's like, it's cold as ice or something. And he's walking in, he takes a photo with us. He goes and sits back with some big crypto billionaire, and you see him just chumming it up back there with his boys, and security everywhere. It was quite the scene. It was cool. He came up, said hi, asked us where we were from, took some photos with us. Really nice guy, but I can't believe the bounce that we got. It was just a Monday night out of nowhere, and he showed up. So we lucked out there.
Yeah, that's sick. Connor, you better be fucking training, brother. Weegsy, baby, I love you, man. I appreciate you taking the time every year. Your family here at Missin Curfew, buddy. Enjoy the cottage. Have a couple cold ones for me, buddy, but good on you. Keep fucking working, fella. Hey, keep fucking working.
Yeah. We don't stop here. We'll keep her going. Thanks, boys. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.